And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about state budget issues in Sacramento at the state capitol. And my guest is Bill Dodd, who is a member of the State Assembly, a freshman from Napa County. Thanks very much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to talk again about the governor's proposed budget. Overall, what do you think? I mean, there certainly is a lot more money for K through 12. There's a rainy day fund. I mean, it's both prudent. It expands in some areas. Holds the line on tuition at UC?
Right. I think for the most part, I think the governor got it right. There's still a lot of areas, I think, in education, that we can do a little bit better, particularly in higher education. That's something that, we were just talking about before we went on the air, how I had two sons that went to UC Berkeley and one that went to UC Santa Barbara, and what I paid just 10 years ago and what the students today have to pay. And I think we've got to find a way to work together to alleviate that problem.
Well, that does seem to be a huge issue at the Capitol and also throughout the UC system. You now represent UC Davis, that's right. In your district. Janet Napolitano, UC President, and Governor Brown are going mano a mano, one-on-one negotiations over tuition. And the UC President says, holding the line on tuition would be fine, except we've been underfunded for so many years. So there's a real dichotomy here.
Well, there really is, because I think it reflects a disinvestment over time from the state of California. And that's one of the factors that I hope that the governor will think a little bit more clearly on and carefully as he does talk with President Napolitano. I think it's a good sign that the two of them, they have the committee of two.
It's a very good sign.
Instead of battling in the public and through the newspapers, right, which really never, works out all that well. So I'm encouraged by the fact that they're working together.
So reading between the lines, I gather you would like to see a freeze on tuition, but to get there, a greater investment in the university.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I think two things have to happen. One, there's got to be a greater investment from the state of California into the university system. But two, I think that the president, Napolitano, and the regents have to do more cost cutting. They have to do more evaluations of some really systemic things that have gone on and the way they've done business over time. And I think that's what Governor Brown is looking for, just that signal that they're doing the job and really digging deep in a lot of these different issues.
Let me just switch gears slightly. The governor has said in this budget, 40% of the budget actually goes to low-income individuals and families. And yet there are members of your caucus, the Democratic caucus, who are saying, that's really not enough, that over the last several years, some of the lower income individuals have been hurt much more, and they haven't really rebounded the way the economy has. What's your take on that?
Well, clearly, the governor in his budget has increased that amount, but it probably isn't enough when you consider what those numbers were before the cuts were made. So we still haven't gotten back up to parity. That said, there's about 15 counties that are interior in the state of California, not coastal counties, but from Riverside County to Modoc County, that have significant amounts of unemployment still to this day. And I think it's really something that if we're going to really provide the California dream to them, as well as those areas that have rebounded very, very well, we're going to have to do a lot better job in that regard.
All right. Well, we're out of time for this segment, but Assemblyman Dodd, we really want to have you back, and we'll talk some more about some other issues. We appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on the Cal Channel, the California Channel, YouTube, and My Government On Demand. Have a great day.